What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about the arena meta and the end of it. It's the end of the arena meta because we have a new meta starting with the new characters. So not only we have the big apocalypse, now we also have Super Skrull, and maybe we have some additional characters that are also going to shake up the meta. So in this video we are going to talk about the different characters that are going to take us into this new generation of arena, and also take a look at some footage of these new characters in action. We're going to take a look at Super Skrull, we're going to take a look at Val. Yes, Val is going to be part of the arena meta, supposedly, and it's a new age of theory crafting for arena, because now you're going to benefit of using different type of characters like additional villains or additional heroes, and based on that we are going to have different performance. As always, we are still going to have the typical arena bugs that we had in the past, like catapulting and slingshot and so on, which is something that should have been fixed a long time ago, but unfortunately it's not the case. So once again, we're going to take a look at the future of the arena meta and what you have to do in order to prepare. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about the arena meta. So right now, the meta that we have for most teams that we face is around the Horsemen characters, plus Kang, plus Apocalypse. It's pretty much that. Some people still use Dormammu, other people use Kang on offense, Kang on defense. There are some small variation in terms of the Horseman characters, but for most part is small Apocalypse, Morgan Le Fay, Red Hulk, Rogue, and some fourth additional character. As you can see, sometimes it's Kang, other times it's Archangel, other times is Dormammu, but that's pretty much the core of the arena. But with the new changes and with just Apocalypse, the big Apocalypse coming into the arena meta, it completely changes on how you are going to play the arena meta, because it's going to give additional health and additional damage to your allies, and this is going to be extremely impactful because characters that otherwise would not have enough stats to stay relevant, now with this boost from Apocalypse is going to be a lot better. And which other character is going to do exactly the same thing? Well, it's Super Skrull. So Super Skrull, like Apocalypse empowered, is also going to give additional health and additional damage. It's the extra health that we have on characters on arena, the 5 characters that we have in arena. With Apocalypse and with Super Skrull, we'll have 3 characters that will have additional 40% max health, and that's going to be extremely impactful. Then on top of that, we also have characters like Vol that have insane amount of stats, so 40% plus 2.7 million health, which is what Vol has when it's pretty close to maxed out. 2.7 million health, 40% of that's going to be almost 4 million health. So just on that alone, the value of characters like Kang that do insane burst damage early on might be diminished for characters that can withstand way more damage. Then we also have the same thing with Morgan Le Fay and with Apocalypse. So Apocalypse is going to get 50% more health from Morgan Le Fay, and then 20% more health from Super Skrull. This is going to make the arena characters way more tanky, and other characters like Eternals, like we have seen in the past, might just not have enough damage output to destroy your enemies. And once again, characters like Vol that have so much health, and the fact that can revive 2 characters early on with all the expos that we now have on the field, these are going to be characters that will be way more impactful because they just have way more mechanics to deal with these situations, especially when you can only use 5 characters of all traits, right? So the characters that I feel that are going to go down really quickly is going to be Red Hulk, maybe not, maybe yes. So Red Hulk, Kang, Morgan Le Fay, those are the most common characters, but those might also be the characters that will die off a little bit faster. Kang, maybe not, because he still has the speed, is probably going to be still relevant on offense. Morgan Le Fay also probably not. Once again, she gives more HP and more resistance to Apocalypse, which is great for Arena. And her basic also steals health, so which is the best Horseman character? It's always going to be Morgan Le Fay because of her basic and because of her passive. Then other characters like Spider Weaver or even Castle. Castle still have a little bit of play on Arena. We also have Nick Fury with a little bit of play on Arena. Some of those characters are really going to go down in terms of value. Now, in terms of Dormammu was hard countered by Red Hulk, but maybe now Dormammu is going to do a comeback because Dormammu with 40% additional health is going to be way harder to deal. And that's pretty much it. So this is a new frontier in terms of the Arena meta, and pay attention to it because don't get stuck behind using the characters that you're using in the past and move on because, yeah, this is the future. Quicksilver, we also have to mention Quicksilver. The turning wine that he does, the amount of piercing that he does with his basic attack is going to be extremely impactful as well in Arena. And because Super Skrull requires a combination of heroes and villains, he might be one of the heroes that you want to pair up with your Apocalypse and with your Super Skrull as well. Okay, so with this in mind, let's take a look at some of the matches that we have going on right now. And take a look at Val in action and also take a look at Super Skrull in action. But before that, don't forget you can always use your Doctor Doom or your Nova to get some extra juice or maybe to catch up your enemies a little bit distracted and pull off a win out of it. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at Val in action in Arena, and this is a 2-star Val. Nothing special, but you can see that the fact that she's as fast as Rogue, the fact that also provides ability block, and the fact that you might be able to revive one of your characters in case they die too early might be extremely impactful. Of course, it all depends on how you play against different characters, but for example, maybe you're facing Super Skrull and the Super Skrull deletes some of your characters, and then it might be convenient to revive one of them if you can, of course, because there are some characters that if you delete them, like for example with Kang, then you're not going to be able to revive. Okay, so first off, you're going to take a look at this footage of me playing with Val. Then we're going to take a look at a few other clips and see what is the Arena meta like right now and what we're going to see in the future as well. Okay, so you can see that as always, Red Hulk goes first, and if you think about Absorbing Man might be one of the most important characters in the future because of that force taunt on specific characters. And once again, you have Super Skrull and Apocalypse giving 40% more health. That's going to be extremely impactful. Okay, so you can see that with my Red Hulk and with my Apocalypse, I was able to destroy 2 of the characters of the enemies. Now with Val, I'm going to apply ability block to Apocalypse. You could also do this with Rogue, of course, but now we have the exposed mechanic that both Super Skrull and Val can take advantage of. As far as we know right now, you can apply exposed to them, and either of the characters are going to benefit from that exposed, but in their own way, because the exposed does not get consumed. So you can see right here, you can also see the effect of Kang at Gear Tier 18, which is now the new meta. Gear Tier 18 Kang is completely different from Gear Tier 17 Kang. The damage output is so high that it doesn't even matter what you have on defense, it just deletes everyone if he gets a second turn. So these are all the changes that are going to completely, drastically change the Arena meta. Okay, let's take a look at this final shot on this Apocalypse. You can see 6 yellow, 3 red. It's not a big Apocalypse, it's the teenage Apocalypse, but it gets crushed either way. And Val and Kang Gear Tier 18 was definitely a great influence for that. Okay, now we're going to take a look at a video from Dogwood, who had the same idea of using Val in Arena, the Arena meta. Make sure to check out the channel of Dogwood. He always has very helpful videos in terms of Arena. He has multiple accounts, and with those accounts, he can play around with the different metas depending on which stage you are in the game, and even free to play versus pay to win and things like that. Okay, so let's take a look at this gameplay from Dogwood using Val in Arena. And this is a 2-star Val. My Val was also 2-star. And this is against the Big Boy Apocalypse. Mine was against the small Apocalypse. I don't have many big Apocalypse on my Arena shard. Okay, this one is also with Dr. Doom. Once again, Dr. Doom, even that is not like part of the meta right now, the fact that he's getting 40% max health might help in baiting someone into triggering his abilities. Okay, so Apocalypse ability blocks the other Apocalypse. Turn your wind with Morgan Le Fay on everyone, including the controller enemies. Now Kang is gonna smash. You can see that the Kang from Dogwood is much smaller than mine. I think it's only 5 yellow, 5 red, but still is doing just fine. And that's it. So it just takes a little bit longer to finish off the enemies. Okay, so we decided to go for the ability block on Rogue. The Exposed got resisted. We got stunned on Apocalypse, which was cleared away after, but that's fine. Dr. Doom is not a problem. Dr. Doom goes for the kill on Val, but she resisted it. And now we are shipping away the enemies. You can see that this is a Big Boy Apocalypse. It's taking so long to kill. The enemies are taking so much longer to kill because, once again, that additional health that Apocalypse and Super Skrull give to the allies is very, very impactful. Okay, so here we go. We have the ultimate of Red Hulk. If you feel like you cannot kill the enemy team too fast, just make sure you focus on the enemy Red Hulk so you don't have to deal with the heal block trauma and the battlefield effect. Because everything else, the bleeds and so on, it's not a big deal. Okay, so here we go. Here goes Red Hulk. And you can see, even if the Kang would die or anything like that, you'd be able to revive it after with Valve. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some footage provided by MGMFMX on Discord. Thank you so much for the footage. Big shout out to you, because yes, he was able to face one of these first super Skrulls that we have in the wild and see what kind of monster this really is on defense. So let's take a look into that. And once again, big shout out to MGMFMX on Discord. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Super Skrull on defense in action and see what the meta team right now in Arena is going to be able to do. So we have the Rogues, we have the Red Hulks, we have the Morgan Le Fays, we have Apocalypse, and we have Kang. I think it's the teenage Apocalypse or the baby Apocalypse, one of those. But you'll see that either way, it's not going to make a big difference, because yeah, the combination of Super Skrull with Apocalypse, that 40% additional health to all characters, but 20% for each of them, is going to be a big deal. The team is going to be super thick. They have all kinds of benefits with each other, and it's going to be very hard to deal. So the team is facing as Super Skrull, Apocalypse, Red Hulk, and Nova. We also have Quicksilver here. And the way Super Skrull works, it's pretty much like Spider-Man Noir. Whenever the enemies, which is in this case our team, whenever our team gets positive effects, Super Skrull is going to get speed bar. And you'll see that this will trigger even on secondary effects. So here, you got the evades, and then, or you got the offense up, and then you got the defense up, and that counted for 10% speed bar plus 50% speed bar for Super Skrull. So you can see right away he got completely destroyed. He literally had no chance. Super Skrull had 2 attacks, and then Apocalypse had 1 attack, and it was pretty much game over. So this 1.7 million health, you can put 20% more from Apocalypse. The damage 60,000, you can put 20% more on that as well. And yeah, with 124 speed plus all the speed bar that Super Skrull is getting, it's pretty much ridiculous what this character is able to do. So you can see right here the damage output, 1.3 million damage, and it's not even crit. It's how ridiculous that is. It's not even crit. But you're gonna take a look at another match, but you can see right away that the main team that everyone else is using got completely destroyed, and that any kind of baby Apocalypse or teenage Apocalypse doesn't have any chances because the special at the beginning is just not relevant enough. Okay, now let's take a look at a second match where we are using a different team. So let's see. This time we're going to take the Eternals and see if we can do anything with them against the Super Skrull, right? Now, something that needs to be clarified is that Super Skrull gets 10% turn bar per character that obtains positive effects. It's not per positive effect, it's per character that obtains positive effects. So if you have 7 characters, it's going to get 70% speed bar. So some people were theory crafting that maybe Nick Fury is going to be the solution for against the Super Skrull. Probably not, because whenever you're using Nick Fury in Arena, you're actually giving more speed bar to the enemies, right? Because you have more minions, and all those extra characters will count for the enemy Super Skrull instead of counting for your own. So keep that in mind. Even that they are trying to make us play with Nick Fury, it's probably not going to be the case, or at least not in terms of arena meta. Okay, so there goes Super Skrull, once again super fast because we spawn with all these buffs. That means he's going to get 50% speed bar on spawn. And right away you apply ability block to Icarus, which is terrible, right? It's definitely terrible. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Red Hulk is going to turn rewind the enemies. You cannot turn rewind Quicksilver, so I'm not sure if he's going to do that, but you cannot turn rewind Quicksilver. And that might be one of the reasons why Quicksilver might be part of the arena meta. Okay, so now Apocalypse is going to ability block the enemy Red Hulk. Once again, because we are not starting with the ultimate rather than the special, we are not able to flip those immunities around. So whoever has the big Apocalypse has a huge advantage. You can see right here that Nova completely deleted Icarus and the other guy that was around. So people saying that Nova is trash, like, boy, shut the fuck up. You have no fucking idea what the fuck you're saying. Okay, anyway, you can see that the baby Apocalypse got completely destroyed. And now Cersei, she has trauma, slow, defense down, offense down, and bleeds. And she's barely surviving. She's going to heal up a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty much game over for the Eternals as well. Okay, so as you can see, the arena meta is pretty much over for the Horsemen characters. Apocalypse is still gonna sit around for a while. Some of the Horsemen, like Red Hulk or Morgan Le Fay, might still have some play going forward, but characters like Super Skrull, Kang, Quicksilver, Nova, and whoever else is coming next are going to be part of the arena meta. So if you are thinking about starting to compete on your own arena meta, pay attention to what is going on, because if you are still investing on some of these more outdated characters, you might not get your investment in terms of return, right? In terms of arena performance. I would say that, for example, my Rogue is not doing anything for me. My baby Apocalypse is not doing anything for me as well. It's pretty much Kang, Red Hulk, and Morgan Le Fay that win most of the matches. And that's also because I'm not facing Super Skrull yet. I face sometimes big Apocalypse, but it's somewhat easy to deal with those for now. But anything that we have going forward is going to be completely different for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do you have a lot of big Apocalypses in your arena shard? Let me know in the comments below. Are you thinking about getting Super Skrull as fast as possible? Let me know that as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. If you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. Make sure you check out Dogwood for more arena videos. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Mobile Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.